Have you ever felt that moment when a simple glance seems to contain a world of meaning? When she stares at you, it's not just a gesture, but a silent invitation. That instant can ignite a spark of attraction or make everything disappear before it even begins. But how do you react? Many insecure men try to impress quickly in a rush to please, but end up missing the chance to create a genuine connection. You who are here are looking for something different. You want to understand the power of presence and know how to use eye contact to convey confidence and authenticity. In this video, we'll uncover the 5 biggest mistakes men make when responding to these looks and show you how to avoid them to transform your interactions. So, if you want to stand out, get ready to find out how to act the next time she locks eyes with you and how that moment can change everything. Without further ado, let's get started. Number 1. Reacting quickly and anxiously. When someone looks at us in an interesting or intense way, it's common to feel an immediate need to react. This impulse, although natural, often translates into an anxious or exaggerated response, such as excessive smiling, abrupt body movements, or even attempts to get closer immediately. This haste to meet the gaze usually demonstrates insecurity, a characteristic that can nullify the initial magnetism of an interaction. In the psychology of interactions, calmness and control over one's reactions are interpreted as signs of self-confidence. Confident people show that they know what they want and at the same time have the patience to assess the situation before responding. As well as conveying self-confidence, a controlled reaction also communicates respect for the other person's space. In many social contexts, especially in initial interactions, personal space is important for both sides to feel at ease. When the response is calm and measured, you create an impression of emotional balance and stability, attractive characteristics that strengthen the initial connection. People who are comfortable with their own silence and can handle the tension of an unhurried glance are often seen as more magnetic, as this behavior suggests they are not desperate for someone else's approval. To improve on this point, it is essential to practice self-observation. A practical tip is when you notice a look of interest, take a deep breath and hold it with a slight expression of serenity. This shows that you are able to handle the tension of the moment without rushing, which generates a sense of mystery and strength. Avoiding sudden movements and maintaining a neutral, relaxed expression reinforces this impression of calm. Instead of a quick response, a calculated reaction creates an atmosphere of reciprocal interest and intrigue, increasing the other person's desire to know more about you. Over time, you'll begin to realize that a confident look is a powerful and sufficient tool for building an initial connection without the need for hasty behavior. In addition, learning to appreciate these moments of exchanging glances and observing the other person's reaction helps you develop a more refined perception of interactions. A sustained, calm gaze can not only maintain the connection, but also allow you to observe the other person's level of interest, providing valuable clues as to the direction the interaction may take. In this way, you establish a foundation of mutual respect and curiosity that tends to grow in an authentic and genuine way. Number 2, looking away too often. Eye contact is one of the pillars of nonverbal communication, and when sustained in a natural way, it conveys confidence, security, and presence. Looking away repeatedly during an interaction, however, communicates to the other person a lack of interest, discomfort, or insecurity. It's as if you're saying without words that you're not comfortable in the situation. This can make the other person feel rejected or unimportant, undermining the chances of an authentic connection. Eye contact is a way of opening doors for the other person. When someone senses that you are focused and present, they realize that you are genuinely engaged in the moment. Research into body language indicates that people who maintain consistent, relaxed eye contact are perceived as more trustworthy and at the same time more attractive. This type of visual interaction activates a neurological response in the brain that creates empathy and connection. In other words, when you hold their gaze, it facilitates the creation of a stronger bond and fosters mutual trust. To work on this aspect, try to train your eye contact gradually in different situations. A simple exercise is to start by maintaining a steady gaze with people close to you, such as friends and family, in order to build trust in social interactions. Practice intermittent eye contact, holding your gaze for a few seconds and then looking away momentarily. Studies show that maintaining eye contact around 60% of the time is perceived as the most comfortable and attractive. Also, remember to complement your gaze with relaxed facial expressions, such as a slight smile or an expression that conveys interest. This helps to create a welcoming environment where the other person feels seen and valued, rather than intimidated or ignored. This balance between looking and relaxing creates a subtle, deep connection that goes beyond words and establishes a basis of mutual respect. If at some point eye contact feels uncomfortable, you can dilute the gaze with brief, gentle pauses that soften the intensity without losing the connection. Another important point is to observe how the other person reacts to your eye contact. When you are aware of their non-verbal responses, such as small smiles, dilated pupils, or changes in posture, you can adapt your eye contact more precisely. This reading ability helps you adjust the level of interaction according to the other person's comfort, providing a more pleasant and natural social experience for both of you. Number 3. Forcing an inauthentic posture or expression. A common mistake is trying to impress the other person through exaggerated facial expressions or postures, such as forced smiles or unnatural poses. This kind of reaction reveals a desperate search for acceptance, which not only alienates the other person, but also makes them question the sincerity of the interaction. In many situations, the attempt to force an expression or posture can create discomfort in the environment, as the other person realizes that they are not interacting with someone who is comfortable or authentic. Authenticity is one of the most attractive traits in a person, as it generates trust and a sense of relaxation. Authenticity can be developed by learning to be comfortable with yourself in various social situations. A fundamental aspect is understanding that no one expects us to be perfect, and that vulnerability and transparency are characteristics that create empathy and humanize interactions. Instead of worrying about what others expect you to do or show, focus on being true to your emotional state. This means that if something is funny, smile genuinely. If it isn't, don't force a smile. Similarly, avoid broad gestures or exaggerated expressions that could give off a manufactured image. Instead of trying to adopt an imposing posture that might appear artificial, work on conveying self-confidence in a subtle way, maintaining a straight and relaxed posture. Non-verbal communication should appear spontaneous, because only then does it convey a genuine message of security and comfort, two fundamental elements for creating a lasting connection. Authentic body language tends to adjust naturally when the person is truly comfortable and in tune with the moment. Small adjustments, such as relaxing your shoulders, keeping your hands visible, and avoiding unnecessary facial tension, help you convey a more genuine and pleasant image. Another important point for improving authenticity is practicing self-acceptance. When we are confident in who we are and don't try to project an idealized image, our body reflects this genuine confidence. Practice being yourself in small everyday interactions with the barista, your coworker, or even strangers, and see how the naturalness of your expressions and reactions makes the conversation lighter. Gradually, this practice will extend to more important interactions, where you will be able to express your true essence without having to resort to forced expressions or uncomfortable postures. This skill attracts others because, by being truthful, you create an environment of trust and mutual connection. Number 4. Filling silence with trivial or nervous conversations. Silence, often interpreted as an uncomfortable element, can actually be one of the most powerful tools for deepening the connection. When a person responds to an intense stare with a constant attempt to fill the silence, either with hurried words or trivial topics, they convey nervousness and anxiety. In social situations, especially in the initial moments of interaction, silence can be a moment of contemplation and mutual observation, where people tune in emotionally without the need for words. Studies in psychology show that silence, when used well, increases positive tension and creates a kind of dance between two people where mystery and curiosity can flourish. This kind of wordless interaction often deepens intimacy and creates a sense of emotional connection. Additionally, silence offers the other person the space to process and react authentically without the pressure of having to respond immediately to a verbal stimulus. It allows the moment to be experienced more fully. Number 4. Filling silence with trivial or nervous conversations. Silence, often interpreted as an uncomfortable element, can actually be one of the most powerful tools for deepening the connection. When a person responds to an intense stare with a constant attempt to fill the silence, either with hurried words or trivial topics, they convey nervousness and anxiety. In social situations, especially in the initial moments of interaction, silence can be a moment of contemplation and mutual observation, where people tune in emotionally without the need for words. Studies in psychology show that silence, when used well, increases positive tension and creates a kind of dance between two people, where mystery and curiosity can flourish. This kind of wordless interaction often deepens intimacy and creates a sense of emotional connection. Additionally, silence offers the other person the space to process and react authentically without the pressure of having to respond immediately to a verbal stimulus. It allows the moment to be experienced more fully. Generating a sense of respect and patience, qualities that many appreciate in an interaction, is crucial. To apply this technique, start valuing silence in your interactions. Instead of trying to eliminate the initial discomfort, allow it to exist. Use these moments to observe the other person's expression and interpret their body language. Small gestures, such as a slight smile or a look that lasts a few seconds, can speak more than words. When two people allow these intervals of silence, they create a safe space where there is no need to rush or pressure. Studies on body language suggest that a deep gaze during moments of silence generates greater attraction because the person feels that you are genuinely present in the moment. This confidence in remaining quiet and comfortable is an attractive skill and demonstrates security, something highly valued in any type of interaction. In addition, silence can be an ally in building a sense of mystery. When you don't feel the need to fill every space with words, the other person can feel intrigued and curious, wanting to learn more about you. This balance between speaking and listening actively, while allowing for natural pauses, creates an attractive and engaging dynamic. If you feel that the silence is getting too long and it's time to resume with words, prefer to start with open questions or light contextual comments that show genuine interest. This helps turn the silence into a moment of introspection and consideration rather than something that needs to be avoided. Number 5. Ignoring non-verbal signals of interest or disinterest. One of the most common mistakes in social interactions is not noticing or misinterpreting the non-verbal signals such as body language and facial expressions, that indicate the other person's level of interest or disinterest. Studies show that only 7% of communication is verbal, while the rest is divided between tone of voice and body language. That's why paying attention to the other person's gestures and posture is essential for adjusting your approach and calibrating your interest to the right level. Ignoring these signals can lead to awkward interactions in which communication loses its harmony, and one side ends up uncomfortable. When you notice signs of interest, such as a slight smile, body leaning towards you, or a prolonged gaze, it's important to respond appropriately by reinforcing eye contact or adjusting your posture to a more open state. These signals indicate that the other person is receptive, which allows for a gradual and respectful approach. Non-verbal communication can even act as instant feedback, letting you know what is working in the interaction and what might need adjusting. However, if you notice signs of disinterest, such as crossed arms, averted gazes, or a body turned away, the ideal response is not to force the interaction. Instead, adapt your behavior by offering more space or subtly changing your approach. For example, if the person looks away frequently, decreasing eye contact can help relieve tension. In some cases, taking a step back and maintaining a more neutral posture shows that you respect their space, something that can improve receptivity in the long term. It's crucial to understand that respecting these signs of disinterest doesn't mean giving up on the interaction. It shows that you know how to listen and adjust your behavior with empathy and social intelligence. Knowing how to recognize and respect these signs not only avoids embarrassing situations, but also demonstrates social intelligence and sensitivity, two qualities that raise the level of any interaction and can even arouse the other person's interest in future interactions. Over time, this ability to read and respect non-verbal signals becomes a natural skill that increases your adaptability and ensures that your approaches are always well received. This attention to signals demonstrates that you are not only focused on your own interests, but that you are genuinely interested in understanding the other person, which strengthens the bond significantly. Now that you know the 5 most common mistakes when dealing with the power of a glance, how about reflecting on how you would react the next time this intense moment happens? Think about the moments when you really felt confident and authentic. That's what it's all about. Creating an atmosphere of security without rushing and without having to prove anything. So, let us know in the comments which of these tips you think will be most useful to you, or share your own experiences. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. We'll continue to explore the psychology of interactions and the path to becoming the best version of yourself. This journey of self-growth is just beginning, and we want to be with you every step of the way. See you in our next video. In conclusion, mastering the power of presence and the art of nonverbal communication can dramatically transform the way you interact with others, particularly in moments of silence and eye contact. The 5 common mistakes outlined: reacting too quickly and anxiously, looking away too often, forcing an inauthentic posture or expression, filling silence with nervous chatter, and ignoring non-verbal signals, are all habits that can hinder the development of authentic, meaningful connections. Instead, by cultivating patience, confidence, and awareness, you can create a more relaxed and attractive dynamic in your social interactions. When you learn to respond to intense gazes with calmness and control, you signal emotional stability and self-assurance, qualities that are universally appealing. Practicing steady eye contact without excessive smiling or nervous gestures allows you to project genuine interest and establish trust. Silence, rather than being something to fill with nervous words, can become a powerful tool for building intimacy, curiosity, and understanding. By respecting the other person's non-verbal signals, whether they are signs of interest or disinterest, you demonstrate empathy and social intelligence, which are key to forming lasting connections. The ability to read and respond to body language, manage silence, and remain true to yourself in social interactions will not only make you more attractive, but will also help you form more authentic, meaningful relationships. Over time, these skills will become second nature, and you will naturally begin to create a space where genuine connection and mutual respect thrive. So, the next time you experience that moment of intense eye contact or silence, remember that how you respond can set the tone for a deeper and more engaging interaction. With practice, you'll find that these moments can truly change everything.